Welcome back, dear traveler. Tonight, we find ourselves far from the noise of the outside world. Here, in the heart of the Shire, time seems to slow down, as if the world itself is ready to rest. The hills are soft and green, the air smells faintly of wood smoke and fresh earth, and the faint laughter of hobbits drifts through the evening air. Inside a small, round, doored hobbit hole, a fire crackles softly. A cup of warm tea sits on a sturdy wooden table beside you, and through the round window you can still see the last golden ribbons of the sunset resting on the horizon. Welcome to Fantasy Dreams. Tonight, we'll rest among the hobbits and wander through the peaceful hills of Middle-earth. Before we begin our journey, take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, allow your body to soften just a little. Feel the warmth of the fire against your skin, soft, steady, comforting. Let your shoulders relax. Your arms grow heavy. And your hands rest easily in your lap. With each breath, the comfort of the Shire seeps deeper into your body. Imagine the gentle scent of baked bread drifting from a nearby kitchen, the faint chirping of crickets outside, the sound of the fire's slow rhythm, crack, pop. Now let the warmth spread down your chest, through your legs, all the way to your toes. Every muscle lets go. Every thought becomes lighter. You are safe here. You are home. As you sit by the fire, the light flickers gently across the shelves of books that line the round walls. Each one tells a story, some written by Bilbo himself. His There and Back Again rests nearby, the leather cover worn from years of use. You reach out to touch it, feeling the familiar texture beneath your fingertips. Outside, the laughter of children fades as the evening deepens. Lanterns sway gently in the breeze, their golden glow spilling like honey across the garden paths. You take another sip of tea. It's warm, sweet, and comforting, with a hint of honey and spice. The fire's glow dances across the teapot, reflecting tiny sparkles of light across the room. Through the window, the Shire stretches out like a painting. Rolling hills, dotted with cozy hobbit holes and winding dirt paths. You can almost hear the faint hum of a distant tune, a group of hobbits still celebrating the end of the day, perhaps singing an old song about second breakfasts and unexpected adventures. The night air outside is calm. A few fireflies drift lazily between the hedges. You watch one land softly on a nearby flower, glowing like a tiny star. And as you sit there, you can't help but think about the stories that began here. Bilbo's journey to the Lonely Mountain, Frodo's long walk toward Mordor, and how, even in such a quiet place, courage and friendship were born. You reach for another book, this one older, covered in dust. Inside, faded elvish script lines the pages. It speaks of Rivendell, and and the music of the elves under the starlit sky. For a moment, your imagination drifts. You can almost hear the soft, melodic voices echoing through the trees. A river running nearby, silver under the moonlight, but the crackle of your own fire gently pulls you back. The Shire feels warmer than ever, a little world untouched by darkness. From outside, you hear a small sound, a cheerful giggle followed by a faint thud. You peek out the window and smile. A group of hobbit children are still awake, chasing one another with paper lanterns that swing wildly in the dusk. One of them trips and bursts into laughter. Their joy is contagious, and for a moment you laugh softly too. It's simple, innocent, and full of life. Exactly what makes the Shire so special. Your thoughts drift again, this time to the world beyond these hills, the forests of Lothlorien, where time itself moves differently. The white city of Minas Tirith, gleaming like marble in the sun, and far to the east, the shadows that once stretched from Mordor. But those are distant stories now. Here, tonight, there is only peace. Only the glow of the fire and the quiet hum of a world that finally rests. Your eyes wander back to the tea on the table, still warm. The pages of Bilbo's book flicker in the candlelight. You can almost hear his voice in your mind, reading aloud from the first page. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit. A smile forms on your face. There's something timeless about those words, something that feels like home. The fire crackles softly again, and outside the last of the laughter fades into the night. A soft breeze rattles the window just slightly, carrying the scent of grass and sweet pipeweed. Outside, the moon slowly rises above the hills, painting the Shire in a soft silver glow. The lanterns along the pathways flicker gently, casting playful shadows across the gardens. Somewhere nearby, you hear the faint strumming of a lute, perhaps a hobbit softly playing to end the day. The tune drifts lazily through the air, like a lullaby carried by the breeze. You glance back at the fire, watching the embers shift and settle. Each tiny spark rises for a brief moment, glowing gold, before fading into the chimney's warmth. It's almost hypnotic, a reminder of how quiet moments like these make life in the Shire so precious. You take another sip of your tea. It's cooled now, but still comforting, still sweet. The flavor lingers, and with it comes the faint scent of honey and cinnamon, the simple pleasures of hobbit life. In the corner, a well-worn blanket sits draped over an armchair, inviting you to stay just a little longer. Your gaze drifts to the bookshelf again. There's a small stack of letters tied with a faded green ribbon. You remember? They're old letters from Frodo, written after he left the Shire. His words speak of peace, of healing, of finding light even after the darkest times. You smile softly. Somehow, his journey still feels alive here in this little room. Beyond the window, party lights begin to fade. Only a few glowing lanterns remain. Swaying in the night breeze, You watch a single hobbit, perhaps Samwise himself, extinguish the last of them with a gentle puff of air. Then he looks up at the stars for a moment, hands on his hips, and smiles before heading home. The Shire feels perfectly still now. Even the crickets seem to quiet down, as though the land itself has fallen into a deep, peaceful sleep. You can almost hear the heartbeat of Middle-earth, slow, steady, timeless. And you realize that this place, with all its warmth and simplicity, will always be here, waiting whenever you need rest. Outside, the last glow of daylight lingers across the hills, soft and golden. The gentle hum of distant chatter still carries from the meadows, a few hobbits cleaning up after the day's festivities. A faint scent of freshly baked bread and sweet apple pie drifts through the cool evening air, weaving in with the smoke from nearby chimneys. You can almost picture the laughter that filled the fields just hours ago, the dancing, the music, the joy that only the Shire can hold. Inside, the firelight flickers gently against the round walls of your cozy hobbit home. Its warmth paints slow, wandering patterns across the floorboards and shelves. You trace the rim of your teacup absent-mindedly, feeling its familiar texture, the quiet comfort it brings. Every sound, the soft whistle of the kettle, the creak of old wood, feels like a lullaby in itself. For a moment, you simply breathe, letting the peace of this small world wrap around you like a blanket. You lean back in your chair, letting your eyes grow heavy. The fire, the tea, the sounds of the Shire, they all blend together into one soft lullaby. You take one last slow breath in, and as you exhale, the world becomes quieter, gentler, and still. Tomorrow will bring another morning in Middle-earth, but for now, just rest. Let the stars above the Shire watch over you, and let the warmth of the hobbit hole carry you into dreams. Good night, traveler.